Coming from Ars Technica, police boast of hacking VPN where criminals, quote, believed themselves to be safe. What? No! Tell me it's not true. But the VPN said they were non-logging. Oh my God, remember those old arguments? Have you been around long enough to remember the non-logging VPN arguments from, I don't know, like 8 years ago when I was losing my mind and saying none of y'all seem to understand how systems actually work? So anyways, a big thing was going on, again, many years ago with VPNs, where you had a lot of people out there, they were using VPNs for nefarious purposes, but then they told me with a complete straight face that it was okay because their VPN was non-logging. Don't you see, Eli? Don't you see, Eli? It's written in HTML, and that's as good as you can possibly get it. As I kept trying to scream at people, that's not how auditing works. That's not how verification works. That's not how any of this works. But anyways, right? And I kept trying to warn people, just because a VPN service says that it's non-logging doesn't mean all your crap isn't being logged. As I said before, right? If I was in charge of the NSA, I would fund to have created the absolutely best paid for VPN service on the planet. The lowest latency, the fastest speeds, the whole 9 yards, and you would pay for it too. But here's the thing, right? A service like that, you'd have some people looking at it going, that's too good. The only way you could have a service like that is if there was government sponsorship of it. So I'm not gonna use that VPN. I don't trust a VPN service that's too good. And so that, if I was running the NSA, what I would do is I would then go out and build the crappiest free VPN service for people to use, right? Well, obviously the government isn't part of this. Look how crappy it is, right? And I would just log every damn thing that went through, and I would make sure in blinking HTML it would say non-logging on the homepage. Because it doesn't matter what the HTML says, right? Again, I've talked about this before with things like architecture, when you have VPN services, right? So you have your computer, you go through the cloud, you connect to the VPN service, right? So VPN service is a server, like literally it can be a single server. That VPN server or service then connects to the internet. So as I've talked about before, so the VPN service is non-logging, but their connection to the internet is, right? You can build stuff like that. Again, if you want to bother being honest, literally using architecture, you can build things that are 100% honest and still screw your users at the end of the day. And anyways, I was screaming about this. And this is one of those weird arguments I've gotten into. I've been doing commentary, but I've been doing it on YouTube or whatever since 2009. And as I've said before, like the arguments that I get into are like the weirdest ones. They're not the arguments I would think I would get in arguments, right? Like the most controversial thing I've ever said is that technology professionals solve problems with technology. Oh, that is like so controversial. It's so controversial. Like my opinions on Israel and Gaza, that's just like, people are like, yeah, whatever. Oh my God, you say that technology professionals, they solve problems with technology. Oh, people lose their minds. And the other thing is, again, with this whole VPN thing and VPN and login and all that kind of stuff. Again, when I'm saying this, just because it's written on the homepage doesn't mean it's true. Even if that is technically true, you can design the overall system in a way that something is technically true, but factually doesn't really matter. Again, the same thing. Oh my God, like people lost their minds. And so that's why I like this particular story, because it just shows you I'm right. They're stupid. This is what you understand when you've actually been doing technology for a couple of decades. And so basically what happened here is you had a police department, I do believe this was European police department, I think it was in the Netherlands or somewhere. So they hacked into a VPN service. They then tracked everybody that was connecting to the VPN service, and then they start going after folks. European law enforcement say they have hacked into a VPN service used for ransomware attacks and other crimes, and identified thousands of users before shutting the VPN down and arresting the administrator. So that's one of the big things when you start thinking about like intelligence operations and law enforcement operations. There's kind of like this idea, like as soon as law enforcement or whatever compromises a system, that it's automatically taken down. And the reality is like, no, they can just keep it running for a long time and see what people do. The other thing to be very careful about is one of the issues that I see with my non-American viewers is you start to realize that many of them, they may be much more educated than Americans, but they seem to have like the context of a brick, right? Which is, it's a curious thing, right? So in the US, we have this thing called the Constitution. The Constitution, right? It's protections between the people, basically, and the government, and that's about it. So in the US, there's a lot of things. There's fruit of the poison tree, right? So if police officers obtain evidence in an illegal way, that cannot be used to try to prosecute somebody in court. Things that are learned, because that's the fruit of the poison tree, things that are learned later, basically by going down the route of what that illegally obtained evidence, right? That cannot be used later. There's a lot of, good or bad, they don't necessarily work how they should, but there are a lot of protections in the American system to try to protect the citizens from the government in one way or the other. One of the big things to understand, though, is the Constitution is between American citizens and the U.S. government, mainly the federal government, and then with one of our amendments, then they go down to the state governments, but it's citizens against the government. So that's one of the things you see a lot right now going on with the Trump administration, and we have a lot of illegal immigrants, or undocumented immigrants, or they be fucked right now people, and they're getting just hammered by our judicial system, because the Constitution, more or less, does not relate to them. And so that's one of the things that I've warned some of my my non-American viewers is be careful. Do not assume you're under the American system, because you're not, as I've talked about before, right? If something happens outside the United States, so it's not a U.S. law enforcement matter, right? They don't have to break your password. They can break your fingers, right? I refuse to give you my password. Okay, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, your daughter's fingers, right? Basically, they can just torture the hell out of you until you provide information. Even here in the United States, there was a police officer that was accused of having child pornography. And so he was smart. He was a smarty. So he encrypted his hard drive. And so basically, what happened was the police came to arrest him. His hard drive was encrypted, so they could not get access to prove that he had child pornography on the hard drive. Well, basically, the court then mandated, somehow it was legal that the court mandated that he provide the password, maybe because he was a police officer or whatever else, and he said, I refuse. So, I shit you not, in the United States, the guy was thrown in jail, not for child pornography, but for contempt of court. And he was there for quite a while. I think he was there for at least a year when I lost track of whatever was going on in that court case. And so this is kind of one of those important things to understand, like, how all of this stuff really works. The other thing too, again, even with the United States, even with Americans, remember there's a difference between law enforcement and intelligence. Right? The ability to convict somebody on a very low-level crime, that has a much higher threshold for being able to do that than an intelligence agent in a foreign country being able to plink somebody. I think that guy looks suspicious. Let's plink him to be sure. Right? And that's not saying it's good, but it's also true. So be very careful with this whole idea about like how you're protected, especially if you're not American. All right, so especially if you're not an American citizen. So anyways, we go take a look at this. European law enforcement say they hacked the VPN. Europol announced yesterday the result of the operation against the service First VPN. The First VPN website now displays a message saying the domain was seized by a joint international law enforcement action. Quote, a VPN service used by cyber criminals to conceal ransomware attacks, data theft, and other serious offenses has been dismantled in an international operation led by France and the Netherlands with support from Europol and Eurojust, the agency said. For years, the service known as First VPN was promoted on Russian-speaking cybercrime forums as a trusted tool for remaining beyond the reach of law enforcement. It offered users anonymous payments, hidden infrastructure, and services designed specifically for criminal use. The probe began in December 2021. At some point, quote, investigators gained access to the service, obtained its user database, and identified VPN connections used by cybercriminals seeking to conceal their activities. The gathered intelligence exposed thousands of users linked to the cybercrime ecosystem and generated operational leads connected to ransomware attacks, fraud schemes, and other serious offenses worldwide. A statement from the Dutch National Police Corps said that before the domain seizures, quote, police had access to the criminal traffic of the users of the service who mistakenly believed themselves to be safe. An internet archive captured of the now defunct VPN service websites shows it advertised the ability to conceal one's IP address, encrypt all communication, and hide one's actions, quote, from the provider and other interested persons. First VPN also made the, quote, no logs promise that is common among VPNs. We definitely are. We are not logging your traffic. The police that have infiltrated our systems might be. Quote, all of our servers meet the high security requirements and do not keep logs, are set up by specialists with vast experience in the field. Big Brother is watching you. We are not, the website said. Well, you know, there you go. So this is just one of those lessons in life. Don't trust any system you can't audit or verify. And even if you can, you still can't trust it. As Eli the computer guy says, distrust, verify, stay suspicious. Don't trust anybody ever. Just trying to put that out there. Anyways. Do what you're going to do with that. So I just kind of thought this was an interesting story because, again, if you go back a few years, if you've been following me for a few years, you will remember the VPN arguments of like 2019, where I'm just like, guys, this just doesn't how technology works. I don't know what to tell you people. And they were mad. They were mad that I tried to explain technology to them. How dare Eli the computer guy try to explain infrastructure to us? We know how infrastructure works. Like, no, you just don't. You don't. So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about the police infiltrating a VPN service, logging all the traffic on a no-log VPN service, and now they shut it down and are going after folks? Do you grasp that this is how it works? Do you grasp that something written in HTML isn't necessarily the guarantee the 14-year-olds out there seem to think it is? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, you want them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, there's a link in the doobly-doo. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.